Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Not sure how this lighting is going to be, but I want to take a minute and talk to you about a couple things that's been on my mind here on a political sense. I want to talk to you a little bit about our President Donald Trump. And, I don't understand where the hate from a certain political party, certain political groups is coming from towards our president. Whether you like him or you don't, I don't understand how anybody can say they do like him or how anybody can say they don't like him. I've never met him. So if you have met him, then yeah, you can say you can have somewhat of an opinion about him. Now you can say whether you like his politics or his business ethic. You can have an opinion on that because those are based on fact. But just hate him, I don't understand that. He's been accused of being many things, a racist, a Nazi, a bigot. There's no evidence to support any of that. That's just media and political parties trying to influence your opinion of the man. In fact, if you go through and look at his life and look at what he has done and what he has done for people through his life, you're going to see evidence that directly in contrast to those allegations. So where does it come from? Well, it comes from politics, really. It boils down to the fact that politicians are pissed off at we the people. Why? Because we voted into one of our highest offices a businessman who is not a politician, and he's showing the entire world that you do not need politicians. Politicians lie. Politicians make secret deals. Politicians are often bought by political influence or corporate influence or some sort of a lobbyist entity. So I like to use the analogy when it comes to politicians and several other things too, but I'm going to use it again in reference to politicians. Politicians are like a military recruiter. They're going to tell you anything you want to hear to get your vote. And then when they get your vote and they get into that office, whether it's the presidency of the United States or Congress or Senate or whether it's the local mayor or the state governor or whatever, they forget their promises. Wise men surround themselves with people who are often more educated in a particular field than what they are. And our president, Donald Trump, has done just that. He has surrounded himself with the best people of their field. And he's doing some pretty good work. That I can say. Do I like him? I don't know. He's been a president for 2.5 years. What I'm seeing so far, shows me that he is dedicated to America. He loves America, and he wants to make, America the best she can be. But to hate him, I don't understand. All these politicians and rock stars and Hollywood, actors and actresses and You know, they were all lining up at his door before he announced he was running for president. They were lining up at his door to come to his parties, the off chance they had an opportunity to shake the man's hand. And then when he announced he was running for president, you know, a lot of them threatened to leave America. They're still here. You know why they're still here? Because even with the problems we have in this country today, America is still the greatest country in the world. You don't hear about people leaving America and fleeing to Venezuela or Cuba or any other socialist country. All you hear about are these people that are fleeing these socialist countries and coming to America. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, what they're suffering where they're leaving. And also what America has to offer. And some of that needs to change too. There's no reason that, you know, we bring people into our country or allow people into our country and give them benefits that a lot of Americans can use. You know, I'm not for illegal immigration. I am for immigration. Don't misunderstand. There are a difference. The illegal immigrant is different from an immigrant. An immigrant took the necessary steps required by the country. Doesn't matter if it's in America or if it's another country. Every country has immigration law. Okay? That law has to be followed. It's there for reasons. All right? You don't just walk into another country. Try that. Try that. You know, you got to have paperwork, you got to have identification, you got to have all kind of stuff just to even get into Canada or Mexico, which happen to be connected to the United States. Okay? You can't just walk in just take over an occupation of property and call yourself a native. All right, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in any other country. And most of the countries that people are leaving to come here, if you try to do that in reverse and go to where they're leaving, you're going to be imprisoned for a very long time. Okay? I don't know if you've ever heard about anybody who's ever been to a federale prison in Mexico, but let me tell you, you think our prisoners have it bad here, locked up in county or state or high, maximum security? Those people are living in a five-star resort compared to the prisons in Mexico and in other countries too. So, you know, but I don't understand where the hate is coming from toward our president. I don't understand where the hate is coming from anywhere, period. I don't care if you're black, brown, white, purple, pink. You know, you're a human being. If you're an American, I don't care what your color is. I don't care if you came from Venezuela and you come through the proper channels to get into America and become a legal citizen. You're an American at that point. And don't give me this bullshit, I'm African American. You weren't never in Africa, okay? And if you were in Africa and you come to America and you become a citizen of the United States, you are now an American. There ain't no African American bullshit to it. You don't hear me talking about how I am a Irish American or German American, okay? No, I'm an American. It's just that simple, you know? Quit trying to label yourself as somebody fucking special. You're not special. I don't care what your teachers told you or what your mom told you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right? You are no different than anybody else. I don't care if it's a doctor or an attorney or, well, if you're a politician, you're a piece of trash. You're a parasite that needs to be eradicated, period. You know, you're not different than anybody else. You're not different especially from the guy living on the streets who is a veteran, who fought and served to protect us. He's the one that's the hero. And look how he's treated. He's living in a box if he's lucky. Okay? You understand this? This breaks my heart. Man probably watched his entire friend count that he had in the service. His brothers, his sisters dying beside him from wounds. Fighting a battle for politicians. Okay? It ain't his fault. And look at him. And then you want to cry about these immigrants, illegal immigrants. And we have patriots, veteran soldiers in our streets, freezing to death, starving. And that's not even counting the American citizens, children, men and women who are living on our streets, starving to death, freezing to death. But you want to cry because you're told to about people who are coming over into our country at like 40,000 people in a week. 40,000 people, illegal people flooding into our country, bringing disease. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing children to be sold across both directions of the border to be sold as sex slaves. Okay? People need to get your shit together. America is the greatest country on the planet. But you are trying to make it just like some of the worst shitholes that the planet has to offer. Wake up, America. Peace out.